Okay, let's move on to question number 2. Find a nursing blog. Determine whether you would find it useful, why or why not. Did anyone find a blog that you would like to continue reading? What is the blog? Was it useful for your information needs? What was its purpose? Okay. Let's take a look at a few blogs. The first one we have is Your Nursing Site. Now, who is the intended audience? Let's see, right at the top, it says a nursing site for nurses by nurses. So it's for nurses. And who created the page? Scrolling down, we find an About Me link. Looks like his industry is advertising, not nursing. When was the page created, and is it updated regularly? Well, it looks like it isn't updated anymore at all. The last post was in 2008. Is this a good blog to rely on for your information needs? Probably not. There are plenty of better ones out there. The page says it's created by nurses, but the author's profile says he works in advertising. And of course, the lack of current information is a poor sign as well. How about the next blog? Code Blog, Tales of a Nurse. This one seems a bit fuller. Now, who is the intended audience from this blog? Scrolling through the site, it seems like it may be a website for anyone interested in healthcare. This is a blog that collects healthcare stories. Who created the page? Well, on the right side of the page, we have the author's bio. And she is an intensive care nurse. When was the page created, and is it updated regularly? Well, let's see. Looks like this blog has been around for quite some time, beginning in 2002. It was also updated this week, so it looks very current. Is this a good blog to rely on for your information needs? Now, if you read through some of these posts, it seems less relevant for staying up to date on the profession, but it may have some interesting stories or outlooks about the profession itself. However, it probably wouldn't be the best choice for medical information needs. Okay, on to the next blog. Here we have the Nursing Research blog. Now, who is the intended audience from this blog? From the header, it seems that this blog is designed for professional nurses. Now, who created the page? Right on the front page, we can see that it was created by St. Joseph Hospital in Orange, California. And the blog contributors are listed on the right-hand side of the page as well. A number of nurses and a couple of librarians are responsible for the content. Now, when was the page created, and is it updated regularly? Let's see, this blog has also been around for a while. It began in 2006, and it looks like the most recent post was in the middle of April, quite recent. Interestingly enough, the most recent post is a list of suggested recent journal articles to read. Now, is this a good blog to rely on for your information needs? Reading through this blog, this is one of the better blogs we've found so far. The post is professional in nature and based on nursing research. Plus, with our focus on evidence-based practice, it fits right into our needs. Okay. And next is AJN, Off the Charts. Now, who is the intended audience for this blog? This is a blog from the publishers of the American Journal of Nursing, so we can probably assume it is written for nurses. When was this page created, and is it updated regularly? It looks like this blog began in 2009 and was most recently updated this week. Another good sign of currency. Is this a good blog to rely on for your information needs? This blog doesn't focus on research as much as the last blog we looked at, but it can be a trusted site for professional development. And finally, a day in the life. Hopefully everyone has seen this blog before, since it is written by our chief of nursing. Now, who is the intended audience? This blog is created for the employees of Baptist Health. When was the page created, and is it updated regularly? Well, this blog only just began in 2010 and is usually updated every couple of weeks. Is this a good blog to rely on for your information needs? For our internal information needs, absolutely. Okay, and here's the list of all of the sites that we just visited. Now, the next activity in our scavenger hunt was visit a social software platform you've never visited before. A blog, wiki, Twitter, anything. Find an advantage and disadvantage of your chosen page. Now, who wants to share what they found? Okay, let's discuss the advantages and disadvantages of the sites you visited. Okay, moving on. Our final question was find a medical or nursing related podcast. Who is the creator of the podcast? Would anyone like to share the podcasts you found? We have a few other podcasts that we can check out together. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to listen to any of them, so for this exercise, we will just check out their pages. And the first up is Nursing Show Online. Who is the creator of this podcast? This podcast was created by an RN and focuses on nursing education and recent developments. We can see it's updated almost weekly and has been produced for a couple of years now. Do you feel it would be an authoritative source of information? Since we don't have time to listen now, you may want to judge the podcasts for yourself later. However, the information that is presented may be helpful in a professional capacity. Next up is Emergency Nursing Today. This podcast is also created by a nurse and focuses on emergency nursing developments and may be used for continuing education credits. Right there. Do you feel it would be an authoritative source of information? This could definitely be helpful to those of us working in the emergency department. It may offer new perspectives and research findings for emergency care. Okay. Our next podcast is Nursing Continuing Education by Nurse.com. Who is the creator of this podcast? It seems this podcast is created by a company offering continuing education at a charge. The podcasts seem to only be previews of the courses they offer. Do you feel it would be an authoritative source of information? Probably not, unless you want to pay their fee to access the full resources. However, since Baptist offers a great deal of opportunities for continuing education, it doesn't seem necessary for us. and last but not least is The Art of Nursing by AJN, the American Journal of Nursing. The podcast is produced by the American Journal of Nursing. However, it's not current, and it only has 4 episodes, all from 2009. These podcasts would be better for nursing entertainment, more so than an authoritative source of information. Okay, other factors to consider. This is just a little cartoon to remind us all to be careful what we post on our personal social networks. But seriously, it's important that we remember to protect the privacy of patients whenever we are participating in social networking. HIPAA is a federal regulation that protects personally identifiable information of all patients, and there are severe consequences for posting such information anywhere. We should all remember to use social media carefully. It's important that we pay attention to all aspects of the information posted on social software and critically evaluate it before we rely on anything. I'd like to thank you all for joining me today, and I hope you were able to learn something new. We have a couple of minutes left, so I will be happy to answer any questions you may have.